Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Authentically Albertan. We are back here in Grande Prairie for the first time, and this time I'm here with Phil from Prairie Flight Disc Course.
Disc golf course design.
Disc golf course design.
There we go. Yeah.
And it's my first time playing disc golf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Phil, before we go into the game, tell us more about what this place is.
So this is our my first course I built and designed. It's the Co-op Community Disc Golf Course, it's a beautiful area just south of Grande Prairie, and it was kind of a project that spurred on right around when COVID hit, and we knew we wanted to get some more courses in Grande Prairie, and this was a spot we picked out that would be an amazing course for Grande Prairie. And we didn't really have a designer, and I kind of put my name in the hat there as a volunteer. And this quickly kind of became a bit of a COVID project with myself and my family. And we just designed the course, built it, and now we maintain it as well.
Have you always been an avid player?
I started playing in about 2012.
Okay.
And then right around kind of when I started designing this course, I'd say around 2017 with the idea of it. Just with a lot of things I do in life, I start to get into the behind of the scenes part, get involved in the club, kind of the administrative part of things in sports. And then I actually probably haven't played an actual disc golf game in about 3 or 4 years. I like to build, to design, and also do some maintenance for the community.
Yeah, that's great to hear. What got you into the sport?
So I was walking the Muskosipi Trails in Grande Prairie, and that's where the first course went in. And
So around here.
it's more in town, just right
More
in town.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I noticed some people throwing some discs, and I was like, "What is going on?" And we talked to some people, got into it. We started playing with just some frisbees, and soon enough, once we got into it, we're like, "Hey, this is a great environmental friendly stewardship type sport." So yeah, that got us into it.
So basically, giving you like the layout of the game, the rules, or what was it about?
I would say it's kind of you're kind of in tune with nature. It's a very small environmentally impacting sport. So it's kind of like going for a bit of a hike, and you're throwing a disc here and there. So yeah,
It's not like actual golf where they clear out miles and miles and
Right.
miles of land.
yeah. It's a totally different etiquette. It's more of a hike. I would say it'd be like less pristine fairways. You're a bit more in the bush. It's not not manicured to what a golf course would be.
Right. And tell us more about you. If you weren't developing disc golf courses, what would you be doing right now?
Well, I'm a high school phys ed teacher. I'm an
Okay.
athletic director, so
Yeah.
I'm deep in the roots of sports in Grande Prairie. I do a lot of high level volleyball coaching. So yeah, if I wasn't doing disc golf stuff, I'd probably be coaching volleyball or helping out with some school sports.
Gotcha, but that's still awesome that you can be involved in sports even after school's done.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
have this as an extracurricular for teachers.
Yeah. So the way I always say things like you're never too busy to do something. I say that's my rule of thumb. I can never say I'm never too busy to do something. I could say I can't prioritize something, but if whenever I get the chance, I'm gonna try to go out and help out the community.
Are there any advice that you'd give out to beginning players?
So you want to start out with putters or mid-ranges, because there's a few different types of discs, and everybody always wants to get the driver out, the one that you can theoretically throw the furthest. But those discs are usually the hardest to control.
What are some putters? Like, what do they mean? Just like the
Well,
tiny
it's kind of the
discs?
thickness. It's
The
kind of the
thickness,
thickness,
okay.
yeah. So a putter is a bit thicker, and maybe you can't throw them quite as far, but it's you get a bit more control with them, and so it's a better one to start with. Yeah. So this is a putter where you can just see it's a little closer to a frisbee.
Okay.
I guess what you'd call your typical frisbee. And then you got your mid-ranges, which is kind of in between, so again, easy to control. And then the drivers are sharper. You can see that. So theoretically, you should be able to throw this further. But you need really good form, and it's harder to have control with that than one of these two.
Do you find that you have better accuracy after playing the sport?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like it's with anything, it's practice. Like once you get practicing, and if you kind of understand how to throw discs, then you can shape it a bit more and get more control that way.
Like, I don't know, if you hand me that, I kind of imagine myself like Batman throwing out batarangs.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. So, and there's other ways to throw too. Like it's not always the backhand. You could throw over top. You could throw sidearm. So basically, any way of throwing the disc, you're allowed to do.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so there's no like set rules. It's kind of like find what works best for you.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, and that's I always like sometimes when you compare to baseball, like I bat when I was a baseball player, I bat from this side, and I actually find throwing like this a bit easier. And then a lot of people that bat from the other sides tend to find the backhand a bit easier. So depending on what your background in other sports will influence sometimes the way that you throw.
Then you kind of had that coordination thing going for you already. If you played baseball, if you're like your hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, I'd say people with a good background in other sports, like there's not many young kids that play disc golf. It's usually something that you find maybe after you're done high school or college. So it's kind of a later in life sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to hear. Good to hear that, you still can discover new stuff even after maybe you don't have that many options to go into extracurriculars.
Exactly, yeah. And so even with my high school phys ed background, my goal for teaching kids is that I want them to be lifelong, lifelong active participants. So this is a good sport. It'd be just like hiking or whatnot. I don't know many like 10 to 15-year-olds that want to go hiking. But if you can teach kids to stay active for their whole life, this is one of those sports that's like you can be 30, 40, 50 and continue on playing.
So as Sophie said, teacher, do you also bring your class
Oh yeah.
to your courses?
Yeah, I usually teach about 200 kids a year, and I make sure that I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go disc golfing,
golf unit.
and I call it training. We're going disc golf training. We're not playing disc golf. We're training for disc golf.
Have you pushed for a team for the school yet?
I haven't pushed it too far just because I'm involved with some other sports right now.
True.
But I always have a few kids, like if I get 4 or 5 kids that are like, yeah, I want to do this, I'll make sure I get them discs, and usually there's some kids that want to play it. And generally they all enjoy it. I always get some students that pretend to not enjoy it just to get me mad. But I'm like, I know you're enjoying it. You're just saying that. So, yeah.
Do you have a type of disc that you prefer the most?
Yeah, I got the one disc I use is the Buzz. Okay. So it's kind of a neutral disc. So whatever kind of angle you put on it, that seems to be kind of the direction that it goes. So I really like that. That's a good one on this course because there's so much woods that you got to have really good control of your disc.
And how'd you get involved into actually building the courses?
Yeah, so I would say it was around 2018 that we first thought of putting a course in around here. And what happened was we applied for some grants. We got some funding from the Co-op Community Spaces grant.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have a person that wanted to take on the design for this area. So I put my name in the hat, and I decided I was going to design and build this. And it was right at the same time that we got announcement for funding that COVID hit. So I was just like, as a teacher, and I was used to doing so much extracurricular activity, I all of a sudden had so much time.
Well, you're a phys ed teacher and everyone's inside.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of just the perfect recipe, and my wife's a teacher as well, and she helped with this too. And we just had so much time on our hands that we're like, okay, we're gonna take a deep dive into this. And I read a lot of articles, did a lot of research, and like with anything, whenever I do anything in life, I always find, whether it's coaching, teaching, the more you know about something, the less you actually know, is what you discover. So with design, it's at first I'm like, oh, this will be easy. It's you just find some empty spaces, you figure out where you want to throw from into a basket. It's not going to be too hard. But then the more you understand about something, the more you realize there's so much. There's so much. It'd be just like
complexity to it.
There's so much complexity. It's just like doing interviews, videos, anything in life. Once you actually take a deep dive into it, you realize, okay, I actually don't know a ton about this, and there's so much more to learn about it. So yeah, it was kind of a learning experience. I'm a lifelong learner, so I was really interested in this. And yeah, with the amount of time we had through COVID, it just became kind of the perfect little activity for myself. And then my wife did a lot of the maintenance around here, so she was out here chopping wood all the time. It was almost a fight to who could get out here and do the
help
work,
out,
because
yeah.
it was just there was nothing else to do. So so that's kind of what spurred on.
Before we get
yep.
really deep into it, why this spot specifically?
This spot was, okay, so we picked out this spot because there's a lot of spruce trees. I like to design around spruce trees because the longevity of the tree is a little bit longer, whereas a poplar, you could design a hole around poplar trees and just the lifespan's not, like they're more likely to die or fall down. So then if you designed a hole with a certain amount of trees in mind and they're not there in 5 years, that's not ideal. So this was kind of the perfect spot for that. Also, this area had a lot of environmental concerns that the municipality wanted to address. So I used to call it the Wild West. There was lots of illegal dumping, garbage dumping, squatters. So they wanted to put something in here that could increase the foot traffic, bring people in, and then that would deter the unwanted activity. So that's where, from talking to officials and whatnot, we thought disc golf would be the perfect spot for this area here.
So once you got the government on board, what was the next step? Just actually like getting a team together to clear this out?
Kind of,
Or
yeah.
you mentioned
So
just your wife and yourself?
the next step was, so we got the funding from co-op, and then the next step was the design. So that's where myself and I had a couple other people help out with that too, kind of our design team. So we were here. I don't know how many hours we spent out here, but we walked every inch of this property and came up with so many different ideas, so many different layouts, and it was quite the extensive process. And then we finally found 18 holes that we thought fit together quite well.
Yeah.
And then from there we started thinking about, okay, what baskets do we want to get? What's the process we want for tee pads? And then it all kind of came together that way. Yeah.
Was there any challenges? Like, is there your biggest challenge when clearing out this whole thing, when designing it? Is there one that stands out?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of figuring out who you're designing for.
Okay.
Are you designing for families? Are you designing for professionals? So gearing it to like finding out who your clients are going to be, like who's going to be using the course, and then making sure that the holes are the proper distance for that. So there's a lot of, I would say that was the big one. It's like, okay, who should be this course be developed for? And then we were deciding to host provincials coming up that year as well. So we decided for this course, this was going to be more of a championship level course. So we made it that the holes are a little bit longer, a little bit more difficult, a little bit more technical, so that it can challenge those the high-end players.
What's your strategy to make the game harder?
So you can like the first thing you do, you can lengthen it. But also there's the fun factor as well. So if you're just making a course super challenging by making it longer and longer and longer, then it's not as fun. So that when you're designing, I would say a big challenge is you got to weigh your fun versus challenge.
Like a balance. On it,
exactly, yeah. So when I design a family-friendly course, I'm going to emphasize on the fun more than the challenge. And then for this course, I would say some people might have some frustrations with it if they're not at a certain level. So that the challenge was a little higher than the fun factor. So, but if you can get that, yes, once you know who your the people are that you want to build for, you got to find that challenge versus fun factor. So yeah, so you could lengthen the holes, or you find spots with more trees or trees in certain areas. So those are some of the things you can do. At last resort, you can add out of bounds as well, or hazard bunkers to make it a bit more difficult too.
So now that you've got this one, you mentioned that you decided, hey, this is a pretty good idea. How about we take it and put it in some other places?
Yeah, so
you mentioned Fort Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
I forget the other.
Yeah, so this was my first one, and then I paired up with a couple other guys that designed locally as well. And then altogether between the three of us, that's kind of our our I guess our company. I think we're working on our 9th or 10th project right now. So that ranges from we're building a course currently in Fort Saskatchewan. We helped out just with the past couple weeks with a course in Tumbler Ridge, and then we built a course up in Fairview. So we're starting to branch out. Initially, we're kind of like, okay, we'll just stick around Grande Prairie and some of the local communities around here and help them out. But it's fun. It's a nice little hobby gig. And as jobs come up in other places, we'll talk together and see if we can work it out and do some further spots.
You also mentioned that this is more of like a side project. When you have side projects and you've got, again, like your main projects, and at the same time, you have a family. How do you keep in touch with that side project? How do you, keep communicating with other people who's also got that as their side project? It's not their main gig.
Yeah, so we do just a lot of messaging online, and in the wintertime it's pretty slow. We'll look for we'll do some networking and see if there's any jobs that might come up, and then for me, I'm a high school teacher, so I have the summers off. So it kind of for installation and really boots on the ground work, it kind of works a bit better that I have the summers open, that I can do some more of that work through there. So yeah, and then since it's none of our main jobs, we get to be as competitive with it as we want. So if we're busy in life, we can take it back and not push it too much. And then if we feel that we have the time, then we can look to expand a bit more.
What was really the first one that you guys decided to tackle as a company?
The first one as a company, Fairview, so just an hour, 10 minutes north of Grande Prairie. So it's around a beautiful pond. It's a family-friendly course. So it was a really cool first course to tackle, and we had the time, so we went up there and put in a lot of effort for it and wanted to make sure that we did a really good job of it. So yeah, Fairview was the first one we did. It's got really good reviews, and a lot of people really enjoy it. So that was kind of the perfect spot for a family-friendly course there.
And what about it made you guys form a company around it? Like, what about it transformed it from a weekend project where you guys were like, hey, you guys doing anything this weekend? No, let's go build a golf course.
Yeah.
Into something official.
Yeah, just some of the benefits of kind of incorporating. So we want to protect ourselves.
Yeah, of course.
And it just seemed to make it a bit more official that way. And then, I guess just incorporating has more benefits, I think. And we figured if going forward, it seems like a lot of municipalities, instead of making the club build a course, they're now looking at hiring somebody to build the course. But if you're not incorporated, then you can't put in those bids for bids and tenders and whatnot. So that was kind of the spur on, where it was like, okay, if we want to go to a bigger project, you'd have to be incorporated to be able to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And like you mentioned, protect yourselves.
Yeah.
Because if something goes wrong, well, at least there's a company to fall back on, and it's not individual stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got this one. You built it around the pond. What was the first challenge that came from it?
That one was how to design around the pond, because I'm not a huge golfer, but when I golf, if I hit in the pond, I'm like, okay, that was a $2 ball. It's not a big deal, and I'm going to put a new ball next to the pond and keep going. Whereas in disc golf, the discs, they range from $15 to $30. So if you throw a $30 disc in the pond, that's not as fun.
So the problem is that the pond just happens to attract disc golfs.
Towards so when you're designing with a pond in mind, you have to think, okay, how can you use the pond so that it's fun but not too frustrating for people?
Right.
Because if constantly people are losing their discs in the pond, well, then it's not financially feasible if you're paying $30, $60 each round because you're losing a disc.
You got to put a sign that says "Make a wish" every time you toss a disc into the pond.
Yeah. For that community, we actually recommended, because they got a community center nearby that rents disc. And some discs are floating discs.
Oh,
so
nice.
That worked out. I'm like, hey, if you're going to buy some discs, I think you should get some floating discs, because you're going to have. And I think they send out a person with a kayak every couple of weeks or whatever, and he'll collect a bunch of the discs and get them back to the owners.
Create a new job right there.
Yeah, and you write your name and number on the back of the disc too. So if you find a disc and you see the number, then you call them and get them back their disc. Yeah.
Really?
Yep. That's kind of the
that's
etiquette.
Awesome.
I don't know if it was always like that, but once the discs started getting more expensive, I remember like 15 years ago, I think it was maybe you could get a disc for $12. So it wasn't a huge deal, but yeah, as they've gone up in price, people will put their names and numbers back there so that and it's a pretty good etiquette that people, if they find the disc, they'll phone the person and get them their disc back.
What about current projects?
So currently, so we're finishing up the course in Fort Saskatchewan. That one's mid-installation right now, so we're probably a week or two away from opening that one up. And then locally, we're looking at, I think we're having conversations with Sexsmith, which is just north of here. And then we're hoping to do maybe next year a course in Grand Cache next year.
And anything special about those courses, like the pond?
The Grand Cache one is right in the mountains. So that would be our first real mountain course where you're kind of on the side of not the side of a mountain, but you're on there's lots of elevation there. And that would be an absolute beautiful course. So if that one goes through, that would be a really special one that we want to put a lot of work in. And then the Sexsmith one would be a much more family-friendly one. And again, I think there is some water there as well. So then it gets that challenge. It's like, okay, how do we make it so that the water's fun, but not frustrating for people?
So you got that going. Any other plans in the future?
We'll kind of see. We'll see how much time it takes for some of these courses. Initially, when we started, the most we wanted to travel was maybe 200-300 kilometers, just a few hours from Grande Prairie. So we had some spots picked out that were like, okay, these would be really cool places to go. And kind of family oriented as well. Like, cause with my summers off, I'm like, okay, where could I go take the kids? We can go camping, and then I can go design a course. But we really enjoyed doing some of the courses we've done. So now if there's opportunities, we'll look to go elsewhere and kind of go at a expansion rate that we're comfortable and want to go with.
And now that you guys are pros at it, how long does it usually take?
Oh yeah, we can put in a course, and it depends with anything. If they just want baskets, or if they want official tee pads, that might take a little bit longer. But to put in 9 baskets, we can do it in it might be a day or two of work. And then the design that might take probably a few different site visits. So like anything, it depends on how big the project is, but. A couple weeks and we can get a pretty good idea of the design, and then if it gets approved, depending on how big the installation is, probably over 2 or 3 days.
Well, yeah, it's been good to hear about the sport. It's been good to hear about, again, the influences that have come over it and how you started and everything.
Yep.
I guess I want to know, yeah, what's the future for yourself then, aside from making disc golf courses?
Aside from that, I'll just continue kind of teaching, and I really enjoy my job there, and try to get more kids into disc golf as well. So I would say to do that, and then I do like to do a lot of local traveling in the summer as well, hiking, camping, things like that. So yeah, I haven't thought too much for other things that we would do. We got quite a bit on our plate already with a lot of the things we do so far. So. Kind of not looking super far into the future, but yeah, just looking at maybe expanding a little bit more and go from there.
Have you found any other sports that you got into later in life? Yeah,
like I would say, so I was a pretty high level volleyball player. I played college and university volleyball, and then I was kind of just I continued coaching with it, but I wasn't really interested in continuing to play it. So that's where I kind of got into disc golf, and I was like, okay, this is something new. This is something I can challenge myself with. It's a little bit similar. I haven't got into pickleball too much, but it's kind of, I would say they have a similar growth rate, both sports. So pickleball is another one that compare it to disc golf, where people will get into it later in life, and again, it's something different, something that they can pick up and start challenging themselves with.
Yeah. What do you think that is with pickleball? What's it a later in life type of thing?
I don't know. I don't know if it's. I haven't played enough to really know it, but I think it's a quick learning curve. So I think people can get decent at it pretty quickly, and then like anything, you can challenge yourself as much as possible. The other sport I'm really getting into, which kind of has some stuff to do with disc golf too, is biking, because I can bike through all this course as well.
Right.
So yeah, I'm pretty big into biking. I do a lot of adventure biking, and I got in a bike accident last year.
What?
But it was filmed, and I think it got up to like 4 million views on Instagram. So I got.
Oh my goodness!
I went viral. I was viral with that. So my students had a heyday with that. whenever we go biking as a class, I was like, hey, check your brakes, Mr. Duffy, check your brakes. So yeah.
How bad was the accident?
Oh, it was pretty bad. I was pretty banged up. I ran both my brakes. I had a double brake failure going down a hill. So I had no brakes going down this hill, and it wasn't that hard of a trail, but that one part had a pretty steep spot, and there were some rocks on the side. So yeah, it was my buddy just happened to put his GoPro in his mouth right before. So he was because he wanted to get video of him going down the trail, and then all of a sudden he sees me flying by. I got the full.
So you got ahead of him.
I got it
as you were falling down.
Because I was screaming, I got no brakes, and then he was like, okay, all right, and then he just watched me kind of get there. So yeah, but all healed up now. But it was a bit of it took a few months to get back to 100%. How was your high school phys ed? How was it?
Well, it was optional.
Oh, it was optional. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how different it is here in Grande Prairie, but at least in my school, yeah, you took it for the 10th grade.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
Yeah. So
if you didn't want to take it in 11th or 12th,
yeah, it's the same.
it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's the same. You grade 10s last year that it's mandatory, but with that, with I think it's 80% of students, 80 to 90% of students, grade 10 phys ed is their last official organized activity in their life. So after that, you might not ever be on a team or anything again. So I always kind of think, I'm like, hey, you gotta leave them with a good feeling afterwards, so that they'll try to be a lifelong active member.
For me, I think I should have just. I think one of my problems when I was a kid is that I wanted to be good right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Yeah.
didn't have that patience.
Yeah.
So if I wasn't good at basketball, don't want to play it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm not good.
Yeah.
If I wasn't good at soccer, don't want to play it.
Yeah.
I like martial arts a lot, and I think a lot of it comes from the discipline. And sometimes that it's good to let out some anger, some stress. You know, growing up.
Yeah.
Especially growing up, you can just boom, let out some resentment in a healthy manner. You know,
Yeah.
make you more calm after the class is done. So I did that throughout middle school, and then during high school I did 10th grade. 11th and 12th I didn't, but a buddy of mine did say, hey, you know, you played infection when we were young. You were one of the fast ones. I know you're a tiny guy, but I play rugby. We need tiny guys who are fast, who can carry the ball and dodge those big guys. Do you want to play? And I wasn't into it because I never got the chance to play, but I was open to the idea.
Right.
I asked my mom, and she's like, no, that sport's too physical. You're not going in. And I still kind of, I don't like it to this day.
Yeah.
I wish I could have gone in and played some rugby. I think it would have been good.
Yeah.
Because you're right, you know, those sports bring out some teamwork and some values, like what you mentioned.
Yeah. And a lot of times even with my work, I always try to keep things more value-based. So whether I'm teaching kids at school or if I got a job, instead of having a outcome goal necessarily, like I want, like if I build this course and I want it to get a 5-star review, well, I don't have control over that. Like I don't have control. I could do the best job and still not get a 5-star. So a lot of times when I put goals on things, I'll try to take more of a personal trait like resilience or bravery, courage. Those are the things that I'll try to work on because I have control over that and not how other people might rate my course or whatnot. So that's what I kind of try to teach some of the students too. I'm like, well, don't pick a goal of something that you don't necessarily have control of. Like if you go to if you went to a disc golf tournament and your goal was to get first place, you could play the best round of your life, but what if the best disc golfer in the world was there at the same time and he won that tournament? You didn't accomplish your goal, but you might have played it absolutely amazing. So if you have a different mindset for that, and that's what I kind of do with my work as well. I don't like to put numbers on an outcome. I like to put more of a personal trait, more personal characteristic to try to grow from.
Yeah, that's a very, very good outlook. Yeah, never saw it that way.
Yeah.
Because I was more into academics, so to me it was all about the numbers.
Exactly. Yeah.
big into calculus, physics, stuff like that. So it was about getting those high marks. And if you didn't get those high marks, well, what are you doing? Put more effort into it.
Yeah, exactly.
But never saw it as a value-based system, as a quality-based. Where, you know, it's about competing against yourself and seeing how you can improve from your last rounds. That's what I'm getting at here, you know. Out of this conversation. It's more about comparing to how you used to do. To now. Rather than just outside.
And even with this course, if I redid this course, I think I could have done a much better job of this course itself. So I always like to with academics, if you got a 60% at the beginning of the year and a 95% on a test would be at the end of the year, that 60% is bringing you down, but really it's kind of that, where did you finish is what's important.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that those different values come together, whether it's building disc golf courses, or teaching gym class.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Phil. Well, I had a blast interviewing you.
Yeah, for sure.
It was great listening to, again, this whole adventure that you had, building a disc golf course, how it all came together, how you were able to meet people who share that passion and then expand that passion beyond Grande Prairie into different places. And we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it takes you.
Absolutely.
We have one final question that we like to ask all of our guests. If you had one word to describe yourself, which one would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say, lifelong learner. Does that work?
I think that's 2 words.
Two words? Okay, I'll try it. I think of a better one.
Could be learner.
I'd say curious.
Curious. Good.
Yeah. Because then it's curious to me how far I can take this. Like so it's kind of a curious learner, I would say.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks, Phil, for joining us on the show.
Thanks so much.
And thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on another episode of Authentically Albertan. Stay authentic. Okay?
Perfect.
And then let's play some disc golf.
All right, let's do it.